that phone powered down to nothing. And I put it back on the charger, so now I switch to the other one. See, this is why you need more than one. You need continuity. Just like if I had the computer here, I could use that, even though I would start off with that. And I would actually just plug it in behind you. But you see what I'm doing? I put the rice in, which is what I done when I was last here. I'm looking for that thing to fix my hand. Where the hell is it? I can't find it. Now you see why I can't mix anything else into this until the rice gets really... I'm looking for a certain nice golden color that indicates that it's been in contact with fat and had a chance to warm up and get some of these meaty flavors. And then I want to start mixing in chicken. And then... Now I'm trying to delay adding more fat to this. And also they say that the more you handle rice, the more it can get sticky. And oh, that's going to be mouse food. Okay, but it's important to scrape anything that's sticking because we don't want that to burn. One good thing, cast iron skillets are easy to scrub clean. Okay, now it's time to add the chicken. This is a good time to actually finger through here, and if you can find bones, don't bring them in. Oh, and you get big pieces of fried skin. Oh, this is wonderful. Tear this up, and definitely let some of that fat render. Oh, chicken skin tastes like the best part of the fried chicken, you know. But, oh yeah, nom, nom, nom. Tear this up really small because there's always a danger of it frying up and getting harder and stuff, you know. Oh, yeah, okay, good. This doesn't look like there's bones in it. Okay. Yeah, I think I did a good job of taking bones out before putting things on here. This will help for the rice to get that color and that moistness from the oil without having to put more oil in. Good. More pieces of... Yes. Oh, I can't wait to... Have you ever, if you're familiar with Jewish cooking, you're familiar with schmaltz? Do you want to know what that is? That's when you take, when you're about to cook a chicken, and you take the skin, and you just fry that up. And that has so much fat and so much flavor. And you could, like, chop it up and add that to dishes. Okay. Okay, now it's getting to the point where I think I need to start stirring this rice around, but I also think that there's a couple of bones here that I don't want to add to. Yeah. Because can you imagine you don't expect bones and you're biting down and that's such a terrible feeling. Okay, I'm going to hope that this is okay. Always feel with your hands, tear up with your hands. You know, you don't want to take a chance and biting down either you or anybody else you're sharing your food with. Okay, I think this is Okay, alright, good. Oh, you know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to take some of this rice. I'm actually going to put it... Oops. Ooh, no, please don't burn me on this. I'm going to put it in here just so that I can get some of the oil from the fried chicken coating this rice that I'm going to stick back in here. Because I'm thinking, I don't want to waste any of this flavorful fat from the fried chicken, you know, or from the fried peppers. They're actually sauteed, really, not fried. But the thing is, when you're taking your chance on fried chicken that you don't know how long it's been sitting around, you really need to cook it again just to make sure, because chicken is poultry you don't want to mess around with. No. Okay, and this I'm going to hit with soapy water. Okay, now, gotta wash my hands because I'm greasy. I'll get out. Boy, am I greasy. Okay, I'm going to look for something to dry my hand off. It's not full of sweet pepper seeds. Okay. I don't want anything burning. But I want this mixed well, because the better this is mixed, the easier it'll be when I finally add the scrambled egg mixture, you know. And then, of course, I'm going to add some soy sauce, because we're going to need some other kind of salt. Because the only salt that I added at all to this is the salt. Well, okay, aside from whatever I added to the steak. But the only salt that I added since was to the egg. You know, because I didn't, you can't really take away when there's too much salt, but you can always add to. And with so many people on low sodium diets, you know, it's better to try to start with less, or try not to cook with it if at all possible. You know, some things they say you really should cook with, like pork, they say it's a really good idea to cook with that. Okay, now this is the fried peppers and the eggs. Now, let's mix this together. Look at this. Just dump it. And this is going to be another case where I'm going to take some rice, and I'm actually going to pick it up in here, and I'm going to put it in here to get coated in all that yummy oil and all that yummy flavor. There. Okay. See? All that flavor. Peppers. Onion. And when I rendered the fat from the steak, oh man, you know, I wish I could get all the drops of oil that are on this. You know what, I'm going to balance this on its edge, and I'm going to let, okay, you see what I'm doing? I'm going to let oil gather the edge. When there's enough to peel down and add to this, I'm going to do that. Now, the rest of this, I'm going to gently fold this together. You know, I'm going to really hope that this doesn't fall into my stomach. It will burn me and it will ouch, and I can't move away and risk having this fall on the ground, I will. No, we've come too far to mess around. Oh, I want to heat the chicken so everything is warmed through enough. Okay. You want to do everything you can to minimize, if not prevent, any chance of foodborne illness. And the thing is, when you take a chance with food you find on the street that people leave out for people, you are taking a chance. So you have to try to determine how long has this been sitting out. Was it heated to proper temperature the first time around? And if things came originally from food service, you can be pretty safe to assume that they have been initially heated high enough temperature. You just want to heat it to a similarly high temperature when you do the reheat. And if you've already done that once when you bring the thing in, and then you put it in the refrigerator after you've eaten, then you can do what I'm doing, and you're not going to be as fastidious with how hot it is as you would if it was raw, because the simple reason that the more you reheat fried foods, the harder they get, and they'll be hard to chew, and it'll be bite into them, and you can maybe worry about chipping a tooth or something. So you can only reheat fried chicken so many times before it becomes like briquettes. And I noticed with shrimp, they get tougher the more you reheat them. And also, if you cook them too long, because you just want, they're initially translucent, and you've got to cook them till they become opaque. But the most important thing you can do with shrimp, from my experience, is make sure you devein them thoroughly. You don't leave any intestine in. And if they're big shrimps, you can cut them up in small pieces so that they stretch out and go through your meal, and every bite has a piece of seafood in it, you know. Oh, yeah. All right. I would love to share this with you. You know what? Now, it's time to taste this. Oh, and like I said, you're letting oil collect on here. That's going to, I don't know if you can see this, but every little bit of this oil is going to add flavor without going to the bottle of oil and getting oil, because you want something that's been imbued in peppers. Something about peppers and onions, that's just a basic something. There. It's over here. It's in here. Now, I want to try this just as is, just out of curiosity. Bubblelandia says, oh yes, you don't want rubbery shrimp. It's fun you appreciate them so much. Yeah, and yet, I feel really guilty because some of the stuff I get, the content I consume on Facebook, for instance, and on Instagram, is all this guilt-tripping stuff showing you these tearjerker cartoons of these animals saying that you're getting one mouthful and this animal is giving its whole life. And furthermore, so many of the ways that they're killed are very inhumane. That's why I have a problem with lobster now. Unless you're sticking your pin in your eyeballs, this whole boiling alive, I think, is morally wrong. Okay, let's see what this tastes like with no seasoning in it. Okay, now I have a choice of 2 soy sauces. This is a Superior Dark soy sauce. And this one from Juan Joshan says less sodium. I like the full flavor of the dark soy sauce, though. And I can't tell you the name of this because I can't read it. Now, once I put this soy sauce in here, I'm not going to have the fire on for too much longer. I'll tell you why. Because if this is a full sodium soy sauce and I keep on with the fire on there, it can concentrate the salt, and we don't want that. And also, it's always good to shake to make sure that it doesn't... Okay, good, it's reasonably mixed. And I'm trying not to wear it, but at least this, it's not like I'm wearing one of my new cat shirts that I would be very upset if I spilled them. Okay, this may come out more than I'm intending, so I've got to watch this. By the way, I'm very expert at chopsticks, but you guys probably already knew that. Now I'm going to reel on. Now I've got to stir this. You know, because I want that wonderful color that we expect from a fried rice. You know, because I don't want to take a chance of I'm frying it and frying it up, trying to get that golden color, and meanwhile I don't want the meat to get tough. And especially things that have already been fried with a coating, like fried rice, like fried chicken, you know. But you just, every time I take meat that I found outside that was left over, I know I'm, for us, I know I'm taking a chance. Those steaks I got the other day, somebody literally left all this meat in a bag, and I took those two things. And I cooked them up right away. I didn't take a chance of leaving them in the fridge where you're going to forget about something. Next thing you know, weeks gone by. Next thing you know, things are smelling funny. No, you can't mess around with food, especially with somebody like my mother who's already gotten food poisoning before, like 3 or 4 times, and she told me how miserable it was. So I can't take a chance of exposing her to that. So, how does this look? And I wish I could take, when I finally end this stream, I am going to take a picture of this. Oops. Because what I'm going to do is, I'm going to ultimately use a picture that I took of the finished product for the thumbnail. Yeah. Doesn't this look good? Here, I'm going to show you up close. Okay, let me taste some of that. Not burning myself. Believe it or not, meat with soy sauce. You know, if I had a mushrooms, would have been nice. But you know what? When you watch my mom, she said, "Why didn't you have some vegetables?" Oh yeah, that's what she's gonna say that. Okay, hold on. See, this is another thing why it's kind of fun to cook when you've been smoking weed, because you get creative in the kitchen. You think, oh, Mom said she wants a vegetable. Oh yeah, I better put in a damn vegetable. I already scrubbed any rust off the top of this. And I already cleaned all the mouse germs off. Okay, now first thing I'm going to do is drain this canned bean water. Now with these, all I'm going to do is I'm going to just fold them into the rice, okay? I'm not going to get any pretense. I'm just using a can of Stokely's. Now unfortunately it's no salt added, which to me means no flavor whatsoever, but it's just my opinion. I'm sorry, I'm on Team Salt, but you know, but you know what? It's easier to monitor the sodium you're consuming if you have no salt thing. So then when I go and put in the sodium, like I just did with the soy sauce, you know. That way, if it's in any way too intense with the salt, this will help cut it. There. Mom will be happy. It's green beans. You could also use mixed vegetables, by the way, and I have definitely done this before. Oh, this is going to be wonderful. Look how much this is. You see? No use of Landy. Oh, yes, you don't. Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, And you know what? My mom's going to say this needs some heat to it. So, this means I'm going to throw in the trusty red pepper flakes. Yes. See? And these were courtesy of Chicken Lady. One day, she set out a whole bunch of kitchen spices, including black pepper, during a time when, you know, we went through a time of over 6 months when nobody could find black pepper anywhere. The dollar stores didn't have it. I mean, how hard can it be to find black pepper? Isn't that like kind of a basic thing you need? But, okay. Alright, I'm going to turn the heat off of this. Oh my goodness. My last blood test, the doctor told me I was low in sodium and needed to eat more salt. Wow. I'm wondering if salt levels have anything to do with my leg cramps. When I was in the hospital getting tests that would eventually determine that I had pneumonia, I even had a cramping episode when I was waiting in the waiting room. And this is during a time when I was also really, really thirsty, and I was seeing all these people with water bottles, and they wouldn't let me go and get water, and it wasn't until, you know, nobody there gave me an explanation. It wasn't until I'd made this series of videos about it that one of my viewers went and told me that they thought it was because until they took the test, they didn't want to take a chance of, say I did find a water fountain, and say I drank because I was thirsty, and say I needed an endoscopy or something. They don't want water slashing around your intestines, so, and that's certainly understandable. But the thing is, if they had told me that, then, you know, if you give me an explanation, then I'll shut my mouth up, because I think that, you know, okay, I'll defer to your judgment because you're the doctor, and I obviously didn't go to medical school. But if you don't give me the courtesy of an explanation, I mean, do I look so stupid that I don't understand a reasonable explanation? Especially at the time when I was there, I was wearing that cat crop top that said Meowika, because it was the day before the 4th of July. And I wore elaborate red, white, and blue eyeshadow. I obviously looked like I was aware of what the holiday season was, and I was somebody that really was enthusiastic about it. And I also, by the way, had a MAGA hat on that sometimes I was wearing, sometimes I wasn't. But they should have figured out that I was of about average intelligence and I could understand an explanation. But for them not to do that, you know, I had to wait to find it. And also because they wouldn't give me the half a minute of their time to explain to me, even if it was just a Cliff Notes version, even if it was a Romper Room version, give me an explanation. Rather than, because I ended up feeling like they were copying attitudes with me and they were being rude with me, when it wasn't like they were swamped with a whole bunch of people and they were having all these people demanding attention. There was a whole lot of people sitting around, especially, you know, when you first go in the ER and there's somebody that's checking your name and records, and somebody else asking if you have insurance, and somebody else that takes you into a little room where they take your blood pressure, and sometimes they weigh you and they ask you why you're there and all that. And then I guess you go through the triage and they determine which of the specialists that are there on duty can best help you. And you know, I'm not unaccustomed to waiting and stuff. I know how it goes. But obviously, they need to have people that are there at a moment's notice in case all of a sudden there's a gunshot victim or something. The people that need the things vetted. You have to make sure that somebody's there in the ER to save somebody's life, or if somebody, God forbid, like my mother had a heart thing, you get on that right away. Something like my bullshit can wait, and it did. I think I'm going to cut this, talking about color, I'm going to cut this tiny little thing in fours, as a matter of fact. Try not to just squash all of it and waste the volume, because I'm looking for, you know, you see? I want you to see what I'm about to put in. Okay? And I'm going to tilt this so you can see this. Now, I'm going to end this shortly because I want to be able to take some pictures before anybody starts eating it. No, I beg your pardon. No, what I'm going to do, because I want you to see me present this to my mom. Cake Pan says, "You're one of my favorite creators on YouTube, brother. Thank you for all your hard work." I want to cry. Thank you. Oh, I want to show you something if you didn't get to see it. And this is thanks to one of my dear friends I've made here on YouTube who obviously believes in me and wants me to continue. Look at this light rig she sent me. This has a thing that a phone holds onto that, there's nothing that would stop me from being able to put my computer underneath it when I get that back. So that means I don't need to just stand up here and like I'm gonna break my neck or something. And I like to live dangerously, But no, honestly, I'm glad that I don't need to do that anymore. Before, when I had the computer down there because I couldn't move it around, this is the only way that I could create content. And the thing is, now that that's actually the guy took a flash drive. My friend took it to somebody who did backed up everything that was in that laptop. Okay, found out, by the way, a bunch of screws fell out, which was why the screen was coming off. But anyway, don't you agree that it's much smarter to just have them send me a new replacement one rather than get a refund? And then what's the chances of my finding another $300 computer with those specs that I need? I need a terabyte of hard drive. You know it, for all the video files and all that shit, and all the pictures you take and stuff. And I think I'm also going to put tape underneath the screws so that they don't fall out next time. You see, I'm trying to learn. Because honestly, I don't hide behind fancy editing. I am, however, going to walk down carefully because I don't want to fall and break my neck. Then my channel will have to go on a hiatus. And I've seen enough hospitals lately. All the time I'm visiting my mom and stuff. So anyway, I wanted to show that with you. And I also wanted to point this out. This was sent to me by somebody else. This was sent to me by my friend Cece. And I want you to see this. I think I showed it in another... come on, how do I open this up? Did I turn off the stove? I hope I did. I don't want to burn the rice after all this. But anyway, getting back to, I don't hide behind a whole lot of fancy editing like so many people do. And it's partly because it's beyond my skill set, partly because every new piece of equipment you have has different things. I finally figured out how to do storyboard editing on a Windows computer laptop, right? When all of a sudden they stopped having the built-in video editor in the computers, they made you go to, I forget what the fuck it is. And most of the things are free, which is obviously what I want to use. But I don't want to need to do fancy things. I just want to do some storyboard editing and maybe some trimming. If, say, the very end of the computer, I had a serious, obscene wardrobe malfunction, I want to cut that off. Or say at the very end of a video, I contort my face in a very hideous manner. Like, okay, I have a couple of shorts that I created on YouTube that for some reason the AI picked the most ugly face expression. It was when my hair was up, and I looked like such, oh my god, it bothered me so much. And anyway, I wasn't able to figure out how to change that to another still, and I'm going to fix that up when I get my laptop back. But anyway, I just wanted to show you the set. Oh yeah, check this out. I can't turn this light on or the lamp back here on because that light needed to be plugged in where this light was plugged in. And I don't think you could plug in everything else. Anyway, I want you to see what I'm digging out of here. This is for all you people that have been complaining about my bad sound. And I agree, sometimes some of my videos you totally need Miracle Ear for. And I know I get short with people because you're getting on my case when I'm saying, you know, I'm doing the best that I can. I have a very low budget. Occasionally people send me goodie boxes full of things, and look what I'm about to show you. Now this, I have a feeling, can only be attached to a laptop. And it's got a cord. I've never even seen this kind of connection before. This one right here. Have you ever seen, you guys know better than I do, you ever seen a connection like this? Need an XLR cable. Audio is perfect. Is it? Now I noticed there's a slot underneath the cell phone here. I know, I recognize the thing for the cable thing, but there's another slot. Somebody suggested maybe that's a micro, that's the internal mic or something. I just wondered what the heck it was. Or if there was any chance it could hold the slot to make things expandable. Because I would love to put a terabyte chip in. And that way it would not, because I'm afraid that when I get to 70 lousy gigabytes, this little phone is going to tell me it's used up. Okay? And I just literally got it a week ago or whatever the hell. So, but the great thing is when one runs out of battery, you know, and needs to be charged, then I pick up the other one. And that's what I do, is I keep them charged over in the bathroom. And anyway, this is the cable for that. But I have a feeling I have to wait until I get the laptop again. Now, I'd still like a wireless lavalier mic that runs on Bluetooth, because that way I could do my turnaround from however far away I want. And well, one end is USB, but I've never seen that other connection. Well, that's the connection, I guess. Oh, okay. This goes. Wait a minute. Duh. You want to see stupid? Is it the weed I smoke? Look at this, and look at this. This connects it to this. Duh. Hello. Is anybody in my brain? Yeah. I used to have more brain cells. You know, there was a time when I thought that I was borderline genius or something. But you know what? California was an awesome place, and I was kind of never late to the party, if you get my drift. I deliberately didn't go to college because I knew that those years I still was kind of distracted by the sex, drugs, rock and roll stuff. And I'm thinking, you know, and I knew that I would not be taking proper use of the money and time investment that college is supposed to be. And now you're thinking about what they're indoctrinating young people, and they're forcing you to take classes that are totally irrelevant, such as gender studies and DEI, this and that, and there's 32 genders, and you better not say the wrong one in somebody's pronoun, or else they'll sue you, and just all this stuff that, and teaching bad history. And the thing is, as it is, we were taught some history that I later, many years later, found out it was wrong. So yeah, you're spending money for the privilege, you're going into debt for the privilege. You know, it's bad enough I went to beauty school and I didn't even get a chance. Whoops. Hello. Oh, sorry about that. I just dropped it where the cat tree is. Yeah, see, this is not choreographed. This is not edited. This is real life. This is my channel. I would like to think is more reality TV than reality TV. This is more real, and I pride myself in that. Even though I'm not saying I don't do prep ahead of time. I'm not saying I don't make sure my hair is perfect. I'm not saying that I don't make sure that I love my makeup and everything in it. I had to refresh it because the first video I did another video earlier today, which is the video I posted, the one of my showing off the clothes, the haul I got from Temu. And you got to admit that for me, those things were not luxuries, they were necessities. Yes, I do need that many pairs of pot leaf socks. You got to have things that go with your outfits, and you need to represent when you're outside. You say you're totally out of buds and you don't have even so much as a roach, and say it's been like 3 days and you're starting to feel depressed because you're thinking, I'm sad because one of my heroes was just gunned down. I'm sad because some of my friends have serious aches and pains and everything. I'm sad because the cops are jacking up half my homeless friends here in town. I'm sad because there's things I can't do to help my mother be more comfortable because there's only so much a person can do. And when somebody's in pain, we all feel helpless. You know, when my mom was on that morphine drip in the hospital, I was gutted. I'm thinking, what the hell can I do? I'm not a medical professional. All I could do is hope that she gets the best care and work around the house to make this place as habitable as possible. And you know, it wasn't until she finally gave me a due date for when she was due to come out of the nursing home that I knew that bed needed to be cleared off. I needed to do as much cleaning as possible. I needed to vacuum up and sweep up. Well, I didn't vacuum, but I swept up the mouse turds. And then getting her that fitted sheet that if it wasn't for my friend Felix, the man in the van. Okay, where should I put this? I came in here for a reason. I don't even remember what it is. But oh yeah, I wanted to just show you some things about the set. And the point of the matter is, I have a few viewers who are also friends who have showed me time and time again that they value me as a friend and they want my channel to continue. And that's the thing, is this channel is one of the few things that's keeping me going. You know how sad I was when my cats died, and how precious, you know, life is, and things aren't guaranteed and things don't stay forever. This channel, I want to go on. I want to showcase my mom a lot, you know. You know what, let me put this on this thing for a while because I want to zip that thing up. Because we do have mice here, I don't want mice getting in my gear bag. Okay, so just let me zip this up. And this is the padded bag that actually, if I ever had a reason to take down this light thing, I can put that in this. I can take down this tripod, but the thing is, all these kind of tripods, they end up looking like a machine gun when you're carrying it, unless it's in a case. And I don't think walking down the street with what looks like something like that, straight out of the Wild Wild West, I don't think that's such a smart, safe thing to do these days. Even though I think it's, by being a female, I'd be less suspicious, but you can't say that, you know. Anyway, I'm putting, this has extra room for things like ring lights and stuff, you know. And I'm just gonna keep this in this bag. This bag has room to put a laptop, cell phones. That one thing that I showed you that I took the microphone out of, it has slots that you can put cables and different things. So this is a really great gear bag. And it's got the padded shoulders to make it nice and comfortable. You know, you get backaches if you have straps that dig into you. But, and there's enough room. Say I wasn't bringing any computer, so I didn't have anything to plug that microphone in. Then I can take that padded geared thing that holds the microphone, and I could use that for other things. I could even use it for clothing and other things that I use for my channel, such as, you know, the clapboard. Oh yeah, there's something else I wanted to show you. There is a front pocket. I just discovered this, but check this. No, not here. Oh, no, not in here. But even though this is good to know, this you could put a tablet in, I'm sure. But this pocket here. Oh, here, I want to make sure I'm in frame for this. Look what happens when I unzip this. Do you see these? Each one of these can hold something. Like one of those mini cards. This is a 128 gigabyte one. I have somewhere floating around in this room. I have a 1 terabyte one. I also have, for some reason, an 8 gigabyte thing that I think is just for those tiny little clip-on spy cameras, which I never figured out how to use. Anyway, I have 3 different pouches for memory cards. Yeah, it's a mess. Why lie? But I try to have a relatively uncluttered set. But since had been packing up since before December, I had a lot more in the way of patriotic signage back here. I had the Pledge of Allegiance. I had another piece of Trump art. I have a giant American flag. By giant, I mean here. I really don't want this tipping over because I don't want this light to break. But you can see, and again, because this is not an iPhone, I can't seem to find a way to unreverse this. That's what I hate about live streaming on a cell phone. It's bad enough you're stuck with this orientation, but whenever I see people that film me reverse content, it still gets on my nerve. But I realize that they're probably in the same boat that I'm in, that they don't know what the fix is. And, that's why I'm deliberately not wearing something with a logo on it that makes it too obvious. But when you look behind me, look at my sign and stuff, then you can see that it's, Oh, I tried filming in that other room, and all I put on was my star and a little flag, and it still seemed like the set was too empty. This is too cluttered. I know that, but since I don't know what to take out of store, out of being packed up, you know. I still want a really cool looking set that looks like it could be on one of those RSBN shows where a guy talks about, news commentary and stuff, and you have a bookcase behind you and a bunch of flags and some things. I like to hang up some t-shirts because you see things like the Elon Musk. I just got that shirt. Uh, and I don't do pronouns, okay? But I will wear the shirt. And I got an A in biology, so yeah. There's that. But that's why I'm a Republican. Okay. So, alright. So, got my stuff here. And, I also got this hat. But the only thing is, I almost never wear these 3 colors together. So sometimes I just wear it backwards, But really, Rastafarian and everything, that's a whole other ball game. But as long as I'm not wearing clashing colors, I'll wear it because it's the only pot hat I have, except for a knit hat I have that has a pot leaf. And what the heck are you going to wear a knit hat this time of year? There was a time when I was afraid to be seen leaving the house because there was a whole lot of gang activity around here, and I actually had to put my hair under a big hat or a big bonnet or something, and I had to slip out the other exit. When the live streams I used to do when the Spanish church was underneath me, and they were like so loud, they wake the dead, and I wanted to show everybody just how obnoxiously loud they were, and so I used that exit. But there was a time when you would have so many drug dealers and gang members, and I'm talking about dealers of heroin and something called tickets, which I heard is heroin that's in paper form. I don't know, but it's stuff that was certainly never around when I lived in LA. Anyway, they were like right facing my bedroom windows and stuff, and it's like I couldn't be so brazen with, like, I had to be so careful when I was filming so that they couldn't see me through open windows and stuff. So that meant I couldn't take advantage of natural daylight. I had to keep my windows covered so that you couldn't see through anything from the around here you couldn't see. And I certainly didn't want anybody too many local people knowing about this channel, because then all of a sudden you feel like you're being monitored, and people will say that you'll find out that they didn't like the way you described a certain situation or something, and they get up in your business, and or the people find out that that seems like you said something that was about me and I didn't like it and stuff, and you have to be so careful. Uh, Glycine bags tickets usually refer to acid. Hmm. The only psychedelic that I think may be going around now, and that's partly because cannabis is legalized and you can buy it in dispensaries. I heard that you can get mushrooms, and I also heard in Washington D.C. they were made legalized psilocybin. Um, One of the things that they're having problems with is people go to these gas stations and they get this fake synthetic weed. That's very dangerous. And also, I'm hearing that kratom or kratom, Kratom, can be very dangerous. That occasionally, some people, if you have undiagnosed heart issues, you can have problems with that. So I would be terrified to try any of those things. Yeah. I would rather either go into a licensed dispensary and try things that way rather than take chances. Now, one time when I was in San Francisco, I bought some shrooms off an old white farmer on the street. And he had the overalls, everything. He totally looked like some old, he was old. You know, like I'm talking older than my mom, even around the same age. And he, blueberry mead, now that's, I'm assuming because it's mead, it's fermented. You see, I got sober off of alcohol a little over 20 years ago, so I am terrified of anything with alcohol in it. But that, ironically, that said, if my friends come over and they happen to have a beer in their hand, I'll let them drink it here because, whatever. I can't, beer doesn't tempt me anyway. Now, if somebody was bringing a mirror that had something that you chop and inhale, that I don't want to see or hear because even though it's 23 years for me, first of all, what if, God forbid, they had warrants and the cops could draw? I don't want that either. But, um, certain things. I don't go to meetings anymore, but I just know what I know about myself, and I know certain things don't work for me anymore, and I think they possibly already fucked up my brain and done brain damage. And you don't know that they're bad for you, that they're dangerous for you until they finally catch up with you, and you're thinking, you know what? I think I better quit, and that's how I did. I quit the alcohol. I quit the chemicals when I was still in Los Angeles, shortly after 9/11, and then 2004, same day even, I quit alcohol. And I was like, no, I haven't gone back since. you know. And now weed's the only thing I do, but I'd be definitely willing to do mushrooms again. And I'm thinking I don't know about LSD because the thing is I'm so afraid now that you have fentanyl and stuff and whatever things, everything has to be tested now. MDMA. The testing kit costs as much as the drug does. You have to be so careful. They have special testing kits that you can get if you know you're going to be going to raves and things. And they have companies that they know that people are going to take chances. And the thing is, oh, now they have certain things that you can't even test for now. As a matter of fact, I have a flyer about that. I think this would be a really great time to show this if I didn't ultimately throw it out. Let me see. Um, Because this taught me something. Oh, okay. Boy, I'm so glad I have this. I have this. Whoops. To show you. When I was at the library last Friday, I was trying to use their computers to go into my Timu account. And it would not let me, it made me use my specific account, but I couldn't sign in because they have this two-factor authentication thing, and they insist on calling my landline, which of course doesn't work when I am 3 miles away and this phone rings. So anyway, they would not let me buy. This is when I was trying desperately to buy the other phone because I knew that I needed another cell phone so that I could keep this channel going no matter what. You know, I cannot lose this channel. I need to have equipment, and even if I get the cheapest damn thing I can find, and you know, and sometimes you have to rob Peter to pay Paul in order to get these things, but I need to keep going. And because what if I find out that there's something going on in Washington D.C. and I got 3 days notice? I need to have something I can take. I can't carry a big computer past the security to go see the president. Okay, and that's the thing is I want to stay on. Too many people through the years have been telling me that they want me to stay on, and there are times when I've gotten depressed and I'm thinking, "You sons of bitches don't care," and I get into the woe is me thing, or I'm really upset because my cat died, or I'm worried about my mom, or different things. And it's easy for people to get upset, and sometimes I'll feel like I just get this really sucky attitude, which I'm not proud of even admitting I feel, but sometimes I've even decided, even though I can create content, sometimes I just take a break of a day or two. And sometimes a day makes a big difference. It's just waking up and thinking, having a fresh perspective, or maybe something good will unexpectedly happen, like a friend will show up and they'll do a wake and bake on your ass or something. Or maybe you'll score something lucky will happen. Just something to make you feel like life is not just one series of working and working and working and working and everything sucks. But, oh, there's free food, you know. But, you know, like I'll go in that park and the state police will be there with a shit ton of clothes, and I'll be able to find a bunch of outfits for my mother and get some cute things for myself. And again, it's free, you know. Or I'll be able to bring things that she needs into the house. You know, I'll ask somebody, some social worker, something. You know, my mom needs this or that, whatever, and finally somebody will come through with things for her. You know, and like I said, she has clothes in her closet now. Finally. And now she has no excuse to say, I have nothing to wear anyway. Or what am I going to do with this stuff? I have nothing to do with it. Because most of it is stuff that you can just lounge around the house with. But there are some things that she can wear when she goes walking, doing exercise. Maybe I could take her on the boardwalk finally. She's got her walker that has a built in chair so she can sit down when she's tired. You know, I would love to take her to like near one of the casinos, like the Tropicana, where I could use their Wi-Fi and I could do live streams there. I know you guys would like that, you know, and I love to show her on my videos. I really do. And everybody, I hear so many positive comments when she's in my streams and things. You know, I'm really feeling the love that people, you know, she's my family, she's my rock, and yeah. And the thing is, she is a much better sport. She knows, first of all, that there's going to be a time when I'm really going to be glad that I have these videos. Okay. And she also knows that her friends, if they find out about this channel, they can see how she's doing. Family members, people way far away, this channel is also a way for family to see what the hell's going on with her. Okay. And also, I know that there are people who want to see what's going on in some of the places that I film in, and this is a way to, from the comfort of your easy chair, especially I've heard from people who are shut in and they're stuck in places like somebody somewhere near Sedona, Arizona, who watches me, and they really can't leave the house too much, and they get to see, like when I go to Washington D.C., this person loves my patriotic content, and I get to let you guys tag along with me when I go on my adventures, which I love doing. But anyway, this is the latest drug that you got to worry about now. I found out about this at the library, and I've heard of something called Trank. Now I know what this is, and it's like it's made from animal tranquilizers and stuff, and it's so stupid. People finding creative uses for things. It says, oh, and this is information on how to manage an opioid slash xylazine overdose. And um, now I keep Narcan here. I don't carry it with me though, which I know they say you should, but that would be just something else to get caught in and all the crap I carry in my purse. And it's as it is, I carry around so much stuff that I hate digging and digging and digging because I'm looking for my key, or digging and digging and digging. I'm looking for an ink pen. But digging around looking for my keys is the worst. Okay, do I need to read this? Oh, yeah, you can't see it because it's backwards. What the hell? Okay, number one says try and wake the person. This is if the person is not breathing. Stay calm and try to wake the person. Tap, shout, rub sternum. Okay. Okay, I know this is the clavicle. The sternum is what? The rib cage? Okay, call 911. Take naloxone Narcan out of package. Administer 1 dose. Um, Start rescue breaths. Okay, this is the CPR. Start with 2 breaths and 1 breath every 5 seconds. Use a face shield if you have one. Okay. If the person is still not breathing after 2 or 3 minutes, administer a second dose. If the person starts breathing, reposition in rescue position. And this is the rescue position. Which is kind of okay if a person's drunk and they're throwing up. You want them that way because you don't want them to inhale their vomit. You don't want to do a John Paul Jones or whatever. You want to or Jimi Hendrix. Never inhale your vomit. Always, and this is something I've done before for drunks. I've moved them where they were closer to between fetal position and face down so that they don't inhale their vomit, but so it just falls out of their face because you have to save a life. Okay, Cake Pan says, good night, Leather. Have to wake up early for my dead end job. I'm going to keep the fingers crossed for you. I'm going to, you know what? While you're getting ready to leave, I'm going to bring this into my mom so she sees this, so you guys get to at least see my mom. Oh boy! Here's the finished product for my mom. Here, Mom. 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 Oh, thank God she's snoring. You know, this scares me so much when my mom doesn't move or anything. But she started. You scared me. Because I'm finally you snored a little bit. I couldn't revive you, and you were acting very alive.
Revive me.
You scared me.
I was asleep, for God's sake.
Well, do you want to eat?
Oh, yes.
Okay, well, all right.
I figured we were just going to have a
No, I'm going to set this up for Oh, okay. Well, don't spill the fried rice, please.
I'll try not
Okay. Whoops. Okay, I'm setting this over here so that. Oh, sorry. Whoa. Oh, boy. I'm going to need to get a light in here. Okay, I just want
guys. Yeah.
I want you to see this if you get it all possible.
Wait.
I open up a can of green beans.
Oh, that's the only one.
Let me tell you what I put in it. I chopped up that steak. I chopped up
trying
that
to kind of figure out where.
Oh, actually, wait, let me put this here for a minute. Because
right.
I want to bring this closer to you so that people can hear me when I say this. Okay. Oh, no, don't die. I tore up that steak real fine. I tore up that chicken.
Okay.
I scrambled an egg, put it in there. I tore up 3 peppers, sauteed them. I had some caramelized onions, threw that in. Fried the rice. Mixed it all together, and I opened up the can of green beans, threw that in after I drained it, and I used the darker soy sauce for flavor. I added a little bit of red pepper flakes. It needed a lot more salt, so I added a little bit more soy sauce. I hope you like it.
It'll be wonderful.
Now, what I'm going to do before I actually give it to you is I'm going to end this live stream. I already told them that. Then I'm going to take a couple stills of, pictures of it in my room with the light or wherever. Then I'm going to plate you up some food.
All right.
Okay, you guys.
Have a nice evening.
Thank you for tuning in. I wish I had a bright light so I could show you my mom from here, but
tomorrow night, just wait.
Oh yeah, tomorrow night we'll see what we're gonna do. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. As soon as I'm done with this, I'm gonna take a picture of that finished rice, and I am going to that will be the thumbnail picture for this. Thank you for tuning in. Gosh, I'm hungry. Maybe you're hungry too. Okay, I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.